you guys are welcome to join the beta, and I'd really appreciate if you're interested in joining, sign up on the Enable Resource Center. We'd love to get your feedback on this. This is a brand new module. It's obviously very, very important for you to use. Everyone wants to do mobile device management. I'd love to make sure that we have a chance to get your feedback on the features before this goes live.
It actually did go, but I just didn't wait long enough. Thanks, Chris. Actually, I'm going to have you stay up here again.
Yep.
And yeah, if you can go through the PSA integration as well, please, and show some of the ticketing support.
Absolutely. Rob mentioned that we heard from you last year that you wanted us to improve our PSA integration. Gavin mentioned earlier on that our organization is a flat one. You can easily contact any of JP or Gavin or so on. We're a flat organization, but we're also a frank organization. So to be frank, what we heard wasn't just that you didn't like our PS integration. What we heard was that it really wasn't meeting your needs, and it was actually causing you a lot of headaches that were causing dissatisfaction with us because of those headaches. So we started to take a look at, well, what are these problems that you guys are experiencing? What is it that we've perhaps implemented in a way that doesn't meet your needs? What are the use cases that we need to fulfill? And really what it comes down to is that our integration in 8.2 and even in 9.0 wasn't flexible enough. You couldn't choose which issue went into which sort of queue. You guys were getting duplicate tickets, and Central was starting to close tickets off before they were actually finished by your technician. This was bad stuff. We were messing with how you were actually handling tickets and what workflows you were putting in place. Those are serious problems. What we did to solve that was we created something called a ticketing recipient. So now in Central, if we go down to the SO level here, now you can create what are called ticketing recipients. And a ticketing recipient really for you guys is going to represent a set of behaviors for what N-Central should do when a specific issue comes up. For example, in this case I have a recipient set up for my managed service alerts for servers. And every time that I go to edit this, we're going to synchronize with Autotask or with ConnectWise to pull the appropriate ticket queue or service board information and all the sub-properties of those objects so we have the latest data here. What this lets me define is, look, if a ticket gets created, it should go in this queue. It should have this priority, this source. It should use this contact and contract. Some of this stuff you already had in previous versions of N-Central. What you didn't have, though, was this tab. This is what lets you control how N-Central handles updating or generating new tickets. For example, you can say, you know what? If N-Central wants to update the status of a ticket, maybe because we've detected that the issue has gone back to normal, well, maybe you don't want us to update that status unless it's in a specific status. For example, if the ticket is in progress, because your technician's actively working on it, maybe you don't want us to update and close the ticket at that point because he hasn't finished adding his notes. He hasn't actually closed off the ticket or added time. Another option that we added was sometimes there are issues that you'll come across in the field where, let's say a disk, for example, or CPU perhaps is spiking. It'll generate notifications because it keeps spiking between 100% and 95% and 100% and 95%. Well, in older versions of N-Central, that would generate a new ticket every time, even though it's the same issue on the same device. What we did to address that problem was we let you specify a time window to say, look, if the issue keeps happening in this time window, just append a note to the ticket to make mention that the problem's happened again, but don't generate a new one, because that's not what I want to have happen. The last piece to note is you can be a little more specific around how we match Windows event log duplicates. One of the problems that we heard was that when it came to event log monitoring, we were creating too many duplicate tickets. Well, we've given you some flexibility here in terms of determining what it is that N-Central should consider to be a duplicate ticket or not. Do we want to take the description, the actual body of the event log into account or not? Do we just want to consider the ID or the source? Those are now options for you to use. The final piece of this is time entries. This is something that we think you're going to start using a lot when it comes to running scheduled tasks in N-Central. If you're running a weekly or a monthly or a daily maintenance routine, doing defrag, doing whatever it is that you need to do as part of maybe an automation manager policy, what you can do is you can have that scheduled task when it runs, generate a ticket for you in your PSA solution, in Autotask or in ConnectWise, and automatically associate time to it. So now you can start pulling up reports in your PSA solution showing, look, I did all this work for you. I did your defrag, I did this, I did that, I cleaned out some files for you. And they automatically have the right amount of time associated to them because of what you've configured in N-Central. This one ticketing recipient is useful. It's now set up to show me, it's now set up to handle what happens when my servers have an alert. I can create as many of these as I want, though. And I can create them at the SO level or the customer level, so I can create cross-customer ones that make a lot of sense. I can create specific ones per customer to address their unique needs. It's much, much more flexible. What do you guys think? Is this pretty interesting? Yes, this should get a big clap. This is awesome.
Good stuff. Thanks, Chris. Thanks very much. I'm going to have you stay up on the stage one more demo, and then I promise I'll let you off the stage. So I talked about Report Manager 4.0. Report Manager 4.0 takes another step in its sort of generation and its capabilities for you. What we've done is we've introduced a new module. It's called PSA Insight. Chris has just talked about N-Central's integration with the PSA systems and the ability to pull back all the synchronized information and be able to set up the various recipient profiles. Now with Report Manager, we're actually reaching into the PSA tools as well and pulling data back so you can create aggregated consolidated reporting. So I'd like Chris to take us through just a couple of those reports quickly.
Yeah, as Steve Jobs used to say, there's just one more thing. So with Report Manager, we've taken a look at what kind of reporting was available in your PSA solution to tell you guys how your help desk is doing. We saw some gaps that Report Manager could fill. So what we started to do was in Report Manager 4.0, you can now connect Report Manager to ConnectWise or to Autotask, and we'll actually start pulling ticketing data into Report Manager so that you can start creating amalgamated reports of N-Central data and your PSA solution data. How is your help desk doing? This shows up in 2 reports at the moment. In the Executive Summary report, we've added a new ticket summary section, which is quite a few pages down here, but if you just give me a moment, I'll go to it. And what this lets you quickly see is what kind of issues are you coming across. You can see here I've got most of my issues are reactive issues. Those come from the PSA solution. You can see how many tickets are open versus closed. I can start trending what that information looks like. This is really good data to provide your customer to show them how quickly you're addressing problems, what kind of problems are coming up. Again, because this is the Executive Summary report, it's meant to be given to your customers. In contrast to that, there's also a new ticket summary report. And this is meant for you guys. This is meant to be an internal report that you can use to evaluate how your help desk is doing, identify problems, identify things like what are the most common issues that you're coming across all your clients. So you can see here, I can see open versus closed. And you know what? I'm opening way more cases in this case than I'm closing. I've got a problem on my help desk. I better go check this out. So I can quickly see trends. Those numbers, those lines should be the same. And in this case, I've got a divergence. I'm opening more cases. I'm not closing them. I've got a workflow problem, a process problem. You can see how long it takes to fix different issues. So my critical issues are taking a certain amount of time, my high priority issues, my low priority issues. You can see how long it takes you to fix on average those problems. You can see how long tickets remain open for. Very handy information to understand how your help desk is actually doing. Down below, you can see a breakdown of what kind of issues you're seeing the most and what kind of priority they have. I can see here, you know what? I've got a whole bunch of computer problems, of hardware problems, and a lot of them are critical. Maybe I need to take a look at what kind of hardware I have in the field. Maybe I need to look at switching hardware vendors. I can also see that, you know what? I've got 6 test alerts or 6 other issue types that I want to take care of. This gives you a good idea of what your trends are. What are the issues your technicians are facing most? You guys can then start to look at how to reduce those issues. This is a very, very useful report for analyzing how is your help desk performing and what kind of problems or what kind of issues are they facing. I think it'll give you guys great insight into how you're doing and where you need to perhaps put some focus.
Good stuff. Thanks, Chris. Okay, so we talked about the Autotask and the ConnectWise integration. As you're all aware, we are still very much integrated with the TigerPaw platform, so those on TigerPaw, bidirectional capabilities there as well. So moving into 2013, everything that we've just talked about is being delivered with the 9.1 release. It is in beta today. We've got plans to push it out very shortly. Mobile device management, the PSA integration that Chris talked about, all of the Automation Manager objects, the 350 new objects that are going to be coming. And again, for next year, we have a much more aggressive plan to be delivering close to 1,000 different objects with the Automation Manager platform. And then again, you'll see us move beyond the file folder operating system up into the various applications. Windows 8 2012 support as well. A bunch of different platform support features and enhancements, the Seeger 11.2, CentOS, .NET 4 upgrades, and more of your 50 and 50 desired features. Within Central 9.1, we will have a service pack. There's a lot of good features that are coming, so we're planning to deliver those inside of a service pack upgrades, like the CA/DDD R16.5. We need to stay on track with their release cycle and get those upgrades to you as quickly as possible. We're putting a lot of emphasis on the Mac platform next year. Mac people? Mac in your customer base? Okay, good stuff. I'm hearing a lot more about it over the last 2 years, not a lot. But it's really ramping up. So we're putting a lot more emphasis on the Mac platform as well. Report Manager 4.0, we are planning a service pack for that as well. MDM data support coming into the Report Manager. You get reports today out of the N-Central platform. That data is moving across to the Report Manager platform as well, and you'll see that. More platform compatibility, performance enhancements, the ability to reduce your data set size, much more configuration on what data you want to pull across from the N-Central platform into your Report Manager database, one to help reduce your disk space utilization and improve the performance. So as all of this is going on, we're hearing conversations and forum feeds on what else we need to do. We've heard about the Panda endpoint security and the desire to have an additional option. So as JP mentioned, we are introducing a relationship with Bitdefender. It's very important for us. They're an OEM company. They service OEM organizations like ours. They have over 100 OEM partners, so we know that they have the back-end support to be able to help us deliver the proper and most sort of quality integration for you. We have a plan around that. We're introducing it. It's available today to new enabled partners to be able to deploy it. We can make it available to you. But we do have a migration strategy, and Brian Zimmerman is driving that program. So we will have a migration documents available to you in early January. We have about 2.5 years of roadmap or runway to get you through your Bitdefender integrations. Custom services, more platform support. So what we did was we took all that, we pushed it into N-Central 9.2. You can see the timing here, sort of the April-May timeframe. We'll have betas more in the February-March timeframe. We'll be delivering the Bitdefender integration, so you have the similar sort of experience that you have today from a UI perspective of creating antivirus profiles. How do I do antivirus on a server as opposed to a desktop or a laptop? That'll all be tied in with your Bitdefender platform. We will take care of the migration, so if you choose to move away from the Panda-based endpoint security and towards the integrated Bitdefender solution, we will do the remove and the reinstall. All right? Hosted patch management. This is about removing your dependence or your reliance on WSUS. If you have to put WSUS into your data center, into your customers' sites today, we're actually removing that dependency. We're going to be providing you a feed. It'll come into your N-Central platform as it does today. You'll have similar sort of look and feel from a UI perspective to be able to approve or decline those various patches, but it's simply going to be a feed coming into your N-Central platform. So no more deployment of WSUS. That feed will also support third-party patching. So not only Microsoft patches, but third-party patches as well. Automation Manager will continue on the program of providing more objects and updates to the actual UI and design environment. N-Central 9.2 SP1, we're going to be adding Active Directory support. So the concept of having an L1 technician, a level 1 technician, they get a customer call, my password, I forgot my password or I lost my password. How can I quickly reset that password? So that's a capability that we're going to put into the N-Central platform. It's probably going to solve 85% of the demand from an Active Directory or user management perspective, but we're going to continue to look at Active Directory from an Automation Manager perspective as well as from an N-Central platform perspective to add additional user management capabilities. The system tray, how many people are using Connect to Help today? Good. I want to see more of that, and I think with integration with the N-Central platform, the ability to define what your customer-facing system tray icon with your brand on it and the various characteristics of or behaviors of that system tray being defined in N-Central and deployed through N-Central will dramatically help the deployment of that tool. It is a free complimentary tool. It's available on the NRC. You can download it today. You can brand it to yourself. You can push it out to your various customer desktops so they always have your brand in front. They click on it. They can send you messages. They can do screenshots and send those to you. They can show IP information, so if your technician needs to find out details about that device, certainly can do that. With N-Central 9.2, we're looking at additional capabilities. Ryan's going to talk about this a lot more. Wow, somebody's got a modem. A lot more about scheduled task. I haven't heard that sound for a long time. Yeah. Oh, no problem. It's South Africa calling. That's their bandwidth, 56K. Scheduled tasks, order of operations, dependencies, self-healing additions, custom services, the ability to leverage custom services to do discovery and monitoring of things that we don't ship right out of the box. Report Manager 4.1, continuing on the program, new executive summary report, work effort reporting, so more information about your PSA environment and how technicians are resolving issues and such. While we're working away on all this, we've heard right-click for a couple of years for me now. Gavin's slide, we've been focused on a lot of the proactive management side and, actively monitoring and managing and self-healing things. But a lot of your business is still very much focused on the reactive. Somebody calls in, I've got a problem. How quickly can we get you to fixing the problem? Now, it's possible in the N Central platform, but it takes a lot of clicks to get there. The information is there, but for you to find out all the stuff that you need, you may have to go to 2 or 3 different screens and drill down. What we're talking about, and Ryan has a session right after this one, we're going to be talking about reactive management and our RAMP program. He's going to go into some really intimate details of what we're thinking about reactive management, all about getting you quick access to the information a technician needs to be able to quickly solve problems on desktops. So we've lumped this all into N Central 10.0, the Diamond release. This is reactive management support, the ability to take advantage of that 82% that Gavin put up and service that side of the business. Information at a glance, dynamic information, right-click integration. Be able to quickly get to what are the processes on this machine, stop, restart services very, very quickly. Rapid Automation Management Platform, the RAMP program. This is, to Gavin's point, of aligning your IT service delivery to the business and programs that you're delivering to your customers, aligning to your service level agreements, aligning to your contracts, and really making the technology part of your business. So if I have a gold program, what does that mean from a monitoring perspective? What does it mean from a management perspective? And how do I configure that in the system so that if I take a partner or a customer from, say, gold to platinum, by twisting the dial or pushing the button, what happens across the breadth of all the devices? What do I now do to those devices in terms of monitoring and management? And how do we automate that process? That's what we're talking about with Rapid Automation Manager. Automation Manager 2.0, just the ongoing evolution of that platform, remote execution capabilities, wake on LAN capabilities, objects being downloaded from the NRC into the Automation Manager so that you can have rapid access to updated information and policies and objects with Automation Manager. N Central 10.1, again, ongoing. You can see there's a little less fabric in here. A lot of the conversation that we had yesterday with our elite teams, you'll see the N Central 10.1 feature plan flushing out. As I say with all roadmaps, all of this information is subject to change. Hopefully the people that had the roadmap presentation yesterday have not noticed really any changes. It didn't change overnight. But over the course of months, right, things will change. Priorities change. Your feedback comes to us, and we will change some of this information. But right now, we're planning for SAN monitoring, more 50 and 50, Report Manager 4.2, automation of reporting. One of the other pieces that you're going to hear from Ryan through his conversation is reporting is a fundamental component that you need to be able to prove value to your customer base. Why not tie that into your automation process? Why not help automate the entire reporting process? Analytics. Today we provide data, we also provide information. Right? When you run a report, we're taking raw data and we're pulling it into something called information. What we need to do is go beyond that and start providing analytics. We have a lot of information in the system, and based on that information we can spot trends, or we can look at information that can help you with your readiness programs as you move from one release to another release of, say, the Windows operating system. So we can put a lot of analytic information together to help you in your business define the programs or design the programs to be able to help your customers migrate from versions to versions of products. So the whole analytics conversation has come in. Think of it as BI for the RMM space. So in a quick summary, in 2011-2012, we spent a lot of time on the complementary solutions, the integration of the NTR portfolio, the integration of the CA portfolio into this single pane of glass. It was really there to help fill out your offering, the filling the gaps of what your customers are demanding from you. What you're going to see in 2013 is a lot more core focus. All right, we've heard it loud and clear. Get back to some of our core business, enhance or enrich some of the capabilities of the RMM platform itself, which is really what 2013 is all about. Okay. So with that, I'm going to say thank you very much. I think we're back on time, and I'm going to turn it over to Gavin.
So how does that look to everybody? Good? Awesome. Lots of exciting stuff. And again, a lot of this is feedback from you folks, and meetings yesterday and ongoing activities we'll be doing will, as Robert said, continue to shape this. How many people here are happy with the reporting that they're getting from their PSA solutions today? Hands, if you're happy. Okay, nobody. Awesome. That's what I like to see. Well, we've increased our reporting team this year. We've brought in a new product manager, Pat Albert, matter of fact, most of the teams for different products and different areas of N Central and the tools have demo booths, so they'll be happy to show you. But we've doubled Pat's resources for product development and on the reporting side, and this is going to be an area where we absolutely want to be the best in the world at providing you reports, not just on the RMM side, but also on the PSA side. And this will continue to evolve as we have spoken about dashboarding, and we've talked about application and service level performance and all these kinds of things. So this is something that we're going to be doubling down in. So the PSA Insight, which is the beginning, our first cut at what we're going to include in the PSA reporting, is a module. So it's part of Report Manager, but it's a module. And the good news is for all of those partners that have Report Manager today, it's free, and it's free for life, and there won't be any additional maintenance support charges. We want to give this to you, and we want to help your businesses. In the future, for new partners coming on board and whatnot, there will be a fee for this module. But for everybody, this is going to be included. So if you want to see more demos of it, please definitely go to the booth, and we'll be happy to show that to you. The other thing that we've talked about today is Mobile Manager. So as we said, that's in beta now. It's coming out in January. And there is a pricing model for that. If you buy it on subscription, it's $1 a month, and then if you buy it on perpetual, it's $20 per license. But what we're going to do as an introductory special for the partners is we're going to allow you the opportunity to do for every one you buy, you're going to get one for free, and the one for free is free for life. So again, there won't be additional subscription or maintenance support charges on the free component. That's yours. It's free for life. And our goal is to help you get into the market. Does that sound like a good plan for you guys? Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So it releases in January. It's going to be available until March 15th. So anybody who wants to take advantage of that freemium, that's going to be available to you. So there's no rush or panic or anything else. If you are, back to Report Manager, if you are interested, if you're not using Report Manager today, and there's 37 of you in here who are not using Report Manager today, I looked. You can go to the booth and you can talk to the partner development specialist who is working that, or the SC, and we actually have a program if you want to get on Report Manager and you want to take advantage of the PSA reporting also. So definitely make your way to the booth. Backup Manager, how many people are using Backup Manager? All right, lots. Well, we're actually going to be giving you a free license on top of what you have today. And all of those of you who are not using Backup Manager, we're also going to give you a free license because we want you to try it, we want you to use it, and just see what a great product it is. And again, from the central management, deployment, reporting, all of that. And this is something we're absolutely committed to with CA, and we're going to be continuing to work on this. So this is, I think, a great opportunity for everybody on that front. And for the N Central Essential Strategy, you guys have seen the type of growth that we've all experienced. A lot of that has been thanks to people leading with the essentials and then providing that reporting, and then upselling and cross-selling. We've actually seen over 500% increase in our professional licenses as a result of the Essential strategy. So people leading with the Essentials, showing value to the customer, and then being able to upsell managed contracts and getting into that higher. So it's worked for you guys. It's certainly worked for us. And so we're going to continue this strategy. So it'll be the same program that we've had going. We'll keep that going forward with the partners. So all the 8 million licenses we've given you for free. That's how many we've given our partners. Those, of course, those are yours forever as long as you're on maintenance support. And then as you're buying additional, we're going to keep this program going for partners. So we're pleased to do that. Does that sound good to everybody? Yes? Okay. Thanks very much.